Travis, what did you like about the team tonight?
Not a lot. We weren't great tonight. But that's part of the journey.
Coach, was that kind of the game you expected out of Manchester, though, after their loss?
Yeah, I mean, you figured they'd respond. They obviously had a real good first period, and I like the way if there's one thing I like how we crawled back into the game in the first. And then the 2 power play goals obviously hurt us.
Travis, the power play goals and the other goals were all off the turnovers. They seem to turn you over a lot. What was the problem there?
We just didn't execute tonight. Usually that's a strength of ours. But that was probably the biggest problem with our game tonight. When you don't execute, you're going to turn the puck over, and they're a fast, aggressive team, and they took advantage of it.
What was your message to the team?
Well, you just got to respond. You don't worry about the big picture. You worry about winning a game tomorrow. And, it's cliche, but that's what most coaches are going to say. We've responded all year. I'm expecting our group to respond tomorrow.
Do you like the quick turnaround as well?
I've said it a lot. I don't worry about the things that you can't control, so it's a quick turnaround. I know when you play a bad game and you don't play well, I'd rather get right back at it than sit and stew about it for a couple days. So I think it's good that we're playing tomorrow, get right back at these guys and try to force a game 6.
It doesn't take a sting out of tonight's game, but you guys get a goal late in the game here in the third, and the crowd is still into it. And the crowd that was left here was still into it, chanting Utica and stuff. Just what does it mean to know that no matter what, the city's behind you guys and the support is there?
Well, our fans, I've said it many times, our fans are amazing. I look back to last year when we lost, it was our 7th or 8th loss in a row to start the year, and I remember walking off the ice and seeing, half the building standing and giving our guys a standing O. So you don't have to say any more than that about the support that we have from the city.
Were they doing anything in particular, turnovers at the blue line, were they doing anything different there at the blue line?
No, I just think we turned the puck over. I think you're talking 2 goals there.
When you guys have a game like that, and then in the third period, you take penalties and misconducts and stuff like that, as a coach, how frustrating is that to see the guys come unravel like that?
I'm not. That's part of the game. You're losing in the conference final or in the Calder Cup final 5-2 or whatever. It's hard not to be frustrated, and I didn't think the 2 10-minute conducts were deserving, but that's the way it is. I'm not worried about our guys that way. They've shown character and composure all year long. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yep. Yeah, what was the difference here tonight? What happened that they seem to be able to turn you over quite a bit?
Yeah, they came out a lot better. They came out kind of like we did the game before. And they were more desperate, and they played a way better game than us.
Come back from the 2-goal deficit in the first, then you go back down 2 in the second, and then they score that 5th goal in the final minute. How much of a dagger is that mentally, to take?
Yeah, we fought our way back, and we're still in the game. Coming into the second period, and they get 2 power play goals, and then we go behind the 8 ball again, and then we were on our heels again, and they kind of continued to do what they did all night, hemmed us in, and we weren't executing well, and that's what happens against a good team like them.
How were they able to do that? They made it really tough for you guys to get out. Did they do anything different, or?
They're more physical for sure. They really brought that up, and they executed better, and we didn't handle it well, the pressure well, coming out of the ice, breaking our own zone together and making plays.
So when you see different looks like that, I mean, you guys have talked all year long about not changing your game plan. What are there minor tweaks that you just kind of look at for tomorrow, or is there maybe reserve type of plays that you kind of look at and say, okay, we got to kind of pull these out of the hat? Or?
No, we don't change what we do because I don't think we played our best, obviously, and we didn't execute well enough. We've had teams come at us like that. That's Calder Cup final. They're going to do that. We have to manage it better and do what they did to us back to them.
We talk about it a lot, but a tough loss like this, especially at this stage of the game, being able to get right back at it tomorrow, what does that do for you guys?
I think that's good for us. Once we leave the rink here, we're just going to forget about it, and it's do or die now. And that's all we can control is next game and coming out better and doing what we do.
Does it give you guys any more confidence knowing that when your backs have been against the walls in elimination games this playoff so far, that you guys have played pretty much your best hockey each time?
Yeah, I know we'll come out ready to go tomorrow, and it'll be our best game of the series. And I know that our team's done it all year long.
And having the crowd still chanting Utica, at the end of the game, because when the buzzer sounds, it's a tough loss, but having that support, and knowing that these guys are here for you no matter what does that do for you?
Yeah, they're not going to give up on us because we're down 3-1. We got one more home game, and we just got to win that, and we know they'll be rocking for us.
Well, you know what? Our guys have been pretty resilient all season long, and we know we're playing an unbelievably good hockey team, and we needed to be better. And tonight we played pretty well.
Pretty pivotal moment, the 5-on-3 in the second period, where there wasn't a ton going. Your guys didn't give up much. What would you like between Dow, the defenseman, and Bartas in that situation?
Well, I mean, there's all kinds of pivotal situations. I mean, that was key for us. Your special teams, they've got to come through. Whether it's your power play, you've got to score, or your penalty kill, you've got to get the job done. So, Dowd's done a great job for us all season long. As one of the many things he does is a real good penalty killer for us, real strong on face-offs. And you know what? Our guys were fearless in the fact that they were willing to sacrifice their bodies, block some shots. And you know what? It's just a matter of staying the course. And they did a pretty good job.
Coach, do you sense excitement in the room yet at the chance to play for a championship tomorrow night?
No, because we've accomplished nothing thus far. And you still got to win 4 to win a championship. So, you know what? It's pretty quick after the game, and I addressed the guys. And you know what? Our guys are pretty businesslike after wins, and they're pretty businesslike after defeats.
Last game you talked about the hostile crowd. How important was it for you guys to take the crowd out of it early like you did that?
I personally, I don't think that's an issue, because it actually gets us going. I mean, that's the beauty of playoff hockey, the passion from the fans. I mean, it energizes everybody. I mean, I can't wait to get out there. If I knew I wasn't going to fall flat in my ass, I'd be running across the ice. But, I mean, that's just playoff hockey. It's terrific. I mean, that's what you want. You want people in the building. You want them making noise. You want them having a good time. Hey, that's what you get here in Utica. It's great.
Coach, before the series started, or any time during this, did you ever reflect on when you won the Cup with Maine and Tommy McVie, who was here as a coach for a while?
Yeah, I think back about it a lot. With when you do win a championship, it's a special time, and no matter how many years go by, you reflect back and you remember your teammates and what they had to go through. We had a fellow by the name of Jeff Bandura that he was a healthy scratch throughout the playoffs, and every time we came off the ice between periods, he'd be sitting in the dressing room, dressed right up, skates, jersey, everything on. And he'd be pumping up the guys, and he'd be the most enthusiastic guy. And he always said, you got to believe. You got to believe. So a guy like that I'll never forget for the rest of my life. A coach like Tommy McVie I'll never forget. Great man. There's so many good memories, guys, that, you know what, just to be in the finals is pretty special. And I think both teams should be very proud of their accomplishments after a long season to be playing here in June in a great championship with 2 great teams.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Sean Backman? What a great play. But we don't usually talk a lot about Sean Backman, but what does he mean to your team?
Well, you guys don't talk about Backman because you keep asking about injuries. So if you want to spend more time, I got all day to talk to you about players. Last night you got me excited when we were talking about Kempe. Tonight you want to talk about Backs? You got an hour? I'll put in an hour and we'll talk about him. Terrific. Little ball of energy. He's great. Great leader. Great inspiration. Plays hard every game. Plays big. You know, and he just does a terrific job for us as a veteran on our hockey club.
Your ability to turn it over tonight, have you guys done it any better this season?
Oh, jeez. I don't know. I mean,
You turned it over a lot.
Well, I mean, it's part of the game, and things happen quickly in this rink. You know what, our team has been a skating club all season long. You know, that's when we're at our best, is when we're skating. And I'm sure Utica's the same. You know, we play very similar styles. I think it goes back to the parent teams. I mean, if you look at LA and Vancouver, there's a certain way that they play in that conference, especially, you know, and you know, we're mirror images of our parent clubs, both teams.
Not too far in a second. It's been a few months since he's played. Obviously hasn't picked up in the playoffs, and then recently he's been doing some issues. Can you just talk about how big it was for him to play as well as he did tonight?
Well, I mean, that's why you have a goalie, a second goalie. I mean, Bartle's come in and played real well for us all season long, and you know, this young man's, the growth that he's had from the start of the year to where he's at right now. Came out of junior with, you know, great credentials, but he had to learn the pro game, and you know, it was probably a little bit slower development than he would have liked. Everybody likes to be in the net, but you know, it's a process here in the American Hockey League. You've got to bide your time, and you've got to earn your crease time. He improved his practice habits to the point now where he's a professional in how he approaches things. And you know what? He's given us some real solid games in the absence of JF. And you know what? We're very happy with the progress he's made, and certainly, you know, we're very comfortable and confident in Bartle.
Your assessment on Brian O'Neill playing tonight and how he did with the top line again?
Well, I knew that he was. I mean, you know, he's not going to be denied. He might be more miserable than I am. So you guys think I'm bad to talk to? You should see Oni in the morning when we come into the rink. He just likes to play. He's a competitor.
Of course, we've seen the Kings when they are in the Stanley Cup Finals get up to the games, and they talked about how hard that fourth one is. Can you talk about the challenge and what you'll be facing tomorrow night?
Oh, it's, you know what, I mean, here I am talking to you guys, and within about 10, 15 minutes, I'm already going to be thinking about tomorrow and the video and what we're going to do, and the preparation never ends, because we know that, you know, you don't have anything until you have 4. So, I mean, this Utica team, I mean, watch that team. They're damn good. I mean, I think this has been unbelievably good hockey, like the passion you could see on the ice between both clubs tonight. I mean, the refs are trying to break up scrums. You can't hear each other talk. I mean, they're both teams. We're just laying it out on the line. So it's going to be another battle. We're going to be here for a long battle, boys and ladies.
Your
Sorry.
assessment of the second period?
My assessment of the second period is pretty good.